Hey everybody, I'm Jack Reedy with Future Pastimes. I'm a designer on the expansions for the classic Dune board game 2019 Gale Force 9 edition. And in this video, I want to talk about the optional shield wall siege rules. Now, these are not technically official rules yet, but they're relatively simple and they do tend to speed up the game overall and make it less likely that you're going to go a full 10 or 15 turns and just have a stall-out victory or some other less satisfying, grueling experience. So the way it works is at the start of the game, the shield wall is just the shield wall. It's unchanged, works normally. And what you do is you're going to keep track of the number of Shai Hulud cards that are drawn during the Spice, Blow, and Nexus phase. So for each one, you're just going to count off. I actually have a play mat that has 4 spaces for it, and I used a little sandworm token as a marker because when you have drawn your 4th Shai Hulud, that is what triggers the shield wall to become a siege for the win. So it does not technically count as a stronghold for occupation or for shipping. It is still a rock territory, so you can have any number of factions with forces in that territory. And if you're going to ship directly to the shield wall, the default cost is 2 spice per force, 1 spice per force for the guild or anyone using guild rates for their shipment there. And if there are forces there when family atomics are used, those forces are wiped out. But after family atomics has been used, that territory still counts as a stronghold. So those are the stronghold, the shield wall stronghold rules. And what it does basically is you have another stronghold. So it becomes harder for factions to block somebody going for the win because you have a minimum of 6 strongholds in the game. Now, if the Ixian's in the game, that means you'll have 7 strongholds at some point. And if you're using tech tokens, you will have the capability for a player to have essentially another stronghold in there. So all of these factors tend to make for much shorter games. Now, it does beg the question, even with just the shield wall stronghold in play, you're going to have 6 strongholds. It's possible to get to the Mentat pause with the player who has forces in 3 strongholds and another player who has forces in 3 different strongholds. What do you do in this circumstance where it is a tie? Well, you basically have 2 options. Option number 1 is those 2 players both win, and congratulations. For anybody who that is not a satisfying answer, there's option 2, and that is you're going to play another turn because there can only be 1. I think you just need to agree on what option you're going to go for at the end of the game. And certainly what you can do is take a page from Arrakis, our other Dune-themed board game. So when you get to the Mentat pause, you can just decide then how you want to do it as long as everybody agrees. So if it's unanimous, you can say unanimously, we've just decided the 2 of you have won together. Or unanimously, we've decided that we're going to go for another turn. And you can even change things up and say, look, at this point, an alliance only needs 3, or an alliance needs 5, or you need to have 4 strongholds to win, whatever you want. But again, agree on what those are going to be beforehand. That way, you're not arguing about how to end the game once you get to that point. So I like the shield wall stronghold rules. I definitely use them when I'm playing with more than 6 players, but even with a 6-player game, it's certainly not a bad idea, especially if you don't want to necessarily have a 7-hour game of Dune, which is what we had last week, and we did not use the stronghold shield wall rules for that game. It might have sped things up. We did use tech tokens. Didn't matter. We still went all 10 turns, and it was a stall-out victory for the guild. So there you have it. If you have other questions about the shield wall, if you actually have a shield wall stronghold rule set that is different from that, please share those details with me. Let me know what you think about having that in there. I know that some people have an alternate take on where that stronghold is. They go for something down in the Cialgos. that's interesting too. Certainly the one in the shield wall means that it's much easier for factions to ship into one stronghold and get into another with ornithopters. So its proximity to Arakeen, I think, it's pluses and minuses. So let me know, again, your thoughts. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.